Oh my goodness. It looks like another bull trap. Oh boy. What are we going to do about that? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is DaVinci Jeremy. I'm 5x5 here in Dubai. I hope you're doing well. Wow. I really thought that Bitcoin and Ethereum was going to like pump heavy, pump to the moon, basically. Yes, in the next few months. And it's still a possibility, but now it's looking more and more remote with the TA. After looking at the TA, analyzing it for the weekend, and hoping that it would do something that would indicate that, yes, I was right. Nope. Time and time again, it just went the opposite direction. So we have to accept what's happening. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that in today's episode. And I would do the news, but I'm going to talk to you guys about what is crypto all about before we get into the TA, right? We're going to talk about that. And if you're interested in trading, right, because we're going to be talking about some trades to make, you make sure you check out okx.davincij15.com or even bybit.davincij15.com. Links are in the description below. Okay, so with that said, why does crypto exist? Why is it here? Why can't we just use our current system? Well, our current system, right, is based on fraud. It's a fraudulent system because the money gets printed and you have to work for it. That's the basics of it. And because our system is based on fraud, our financial system is based on fraud, it builds fraud on top of fraud, right? Because once you have a base of fraud, right, that means there's going to be more fraud on top of that in order to keep it going, right? So, for example, one of the things you have in our system is derivatives. And what is derivatives? It's really simple. Anything that derives its price, right, from something else, right? So, for example, a more simple derivative, right? And I won't get into any complex derivatives because it will mess with your head. When you go and buy a futures contract, if you buy an ETF or a Bitcoin futures contract, because that's an example of a derivative because it's not connected to the actual price. Whilst gold and silver futures contract is the price that you would trade it at, right? But it's still a derivative, but it's a little bit complicated. But anyways, we'll talk about that another episode. But let's make it simple for you, right? The Bitcoin futures contract is not the price setting mechanism. It's the spot price on Binance, spot price on Coinbase, spot price on Bybit, OKX, all these different exchanges. That's the price, right? Because it is what actual people are willing to buy it or sell it at. That's what it is. Then basically the derivative price is just somebody willing to buy something, a promise to get dollars at that price. That's what a derivative is. Basically, you don't care about the underlying asset. You don't care to own it. So you buy a derivative that guarantees you the cash. And whilst you could say, so what? That's not fraud. That's not scam. If you understand, yes, it's true. It isn't, right? It isn't a fraud or a scam. But what happens is a lot of people believe that this is the real asset. And that is the effective fraud. And then on top of that, we have other things that goes on in our market. So that, for example, we have, right now we have an ETF that is just purchasing the derivatives contracts that you can buy. You feel that you own actual Bitcoin or have maybe you'd understand that you only have exposure to it, not actual Bitcoin at all. And so this suppresses the price of an asset. And so crypto is basically a new technology that allows us to find real value and to allow us to get away from fraud. Basically, our whole system of fraud, right, it exists because our basis is fraudulent, and so what we want is a system that's fair, and that's what Bitcoin provides. It provides us, or crypto instead, and it provides us with a means of mathematical fairness. And yes, there will be people who provide false scams in crypto or fraud, but eventually those things will fall away, because once they realize that it's a scam, you go, oh, wait a second, you know what? That's never going to work. And then only products that actually are mathematically sound remain. That's the key thing. So this is why we have crypto today. And this is why I think crypto will, over time, improve everyone's lives. All right, so let's get on to the TA for today. Before we do, make sure that you head over to okx.davincij15.com. Right, you can see that Bitcoin is trying to break out, and it kept failing above this green line. It's a $37,800 or $900 level approximately, and it kept failing to do so. And this actually, if you reverse this, it's actually a bearish. If it were upside down, and it looks bullish if it's right the way it is right now, because we're getting higher lows every single time. It's rising up, and it's hammering against the top here. So effectively, this looks bullish, right? There's nothing bearish about this except for we haven't broken out. And I would like to incline to believe that this would go and break higher, and it can, but I do believe that this thing is going to break down, and here's why. It's not because I can see a clear pattern here of a breakdown, right? Because we do have a little bit of a higher highs. But when we look at Ethereum, which Ethereum likes to tell you exactly what the time it is, right? Well, this thing's managed. This was not managed, right? Because it's managed by the people who have lots of money, and so they're managing this price up like this setup. Ethereum is clear; it cannot break up to its upward trend line, and it's created a breakdown from this trend line, and you can see we now created a lot of lower highs and breaking down. Now, if we break this key support level, which is the $2,050 level approximately, you can see we're breaking all the way back down to probably to this, at least this purple line here, this purple trend line, or the $1,956 level. That's not a huge loss, but it is a big significant point, right? As we've seen a lot of sideways action here in Ethereum on the hourly at least. So that's where we're going to see a breakdown, maybe not a huge breakdown, but the lowest point we can see that if we could hold the 1930, we could see this thing continue higher. But failing to hold the 1930 to the next level is the 1868 level that we'll maintain. So with that said, to close it off, again, back to Bitcoin, we could break down all the way to the purple level, which is the 300 some odd dollars, and the lower level of Bitcoin, if we break this upward orange trend line, is the $33,680 level. This is where we have to hold the line. Or else it's lights out. So we have to hold this line here where the 38.2 is. And if we do, right, then we can see a Bitcoin break higher to above the 40, into the $40,000 range. All right. Well, with that said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you learned something today. I think that was my goal, was to teach you guys that, hey, you know what crypto is. a mathematical proof of money and wealth. And instead of trusting individuals, which we normally do, we trust math. That's what it's about. All right. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.